Alright, what's up guys, it's Moomade. Welcome to the Beautiful Podcast Show episode 9. We're really getting up there with these, to be honest. I said it in like the first one or the second one or something, how I was like, these are probably going to go like 2 episodes and then I'll get bored and that'll be it. But it has like an actual following. I wasn't ever expecting that to be the case because I started making these because I got really into the Smith Squad podcast on the Smith Plays, and after listening to that podcast, I got like woke AF. Like I listened to like 5 or 6 episodes of it, and I was like, I just felt like super enlightened. So I was like, well, I gotta make one of these for myself. And I had always thought that like making podcasts and stuff was kind of cool. And like me and my friends had like messed around and made podcasts and whatever. And it never was really for anything. We would just record ourselves for 20 minutes on my phone, and that would just kind of be the podcast, and then just the two of us would listen to it. And I don't know where it is on my computer. Somewhere on my computer I have one of those. So if you guys would like to see that, maybe someday down the road I can show you guys the first podcast I ever made when I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. So it was before I was making videos or anything. So it was just uncut, just raw me talking. So it's really cringy, to be honest, but it's that's kind of where my podcasting started, because I had been listening to I can't remember what it was called, the SB Hour, which was a podcast that Nero Cinema did like 4 episodes of, and only 2 of them are still public, and those 2 I've listened to a million times, and they're both awesome. And they were done right before Black Ops 2 came out, so they're like 5 or 6 years old or something. So I listened to those, and I want to say that it was during like the Black Ops 2 Call of Duty Ghosts kind of era when I listened to those. But they went over really well, I don't know why I said that. They in my head, I just thought they were incredibly entertaining, just to sit down and listen to people talk. And then when I found the Smith Squad podcast, he sat down and did it by himself, and that was never done on the SB Hour, as far as I know. So it was just one guy just talking to a microphone, just uncut, just about his thoughts and just about his feelings for an hour. And I was like, that just sounds like fun. So I totally just real quick whipped this podcast up, and I think I did it just kind of on impulse one night, because, well, I'd been thinking like, I kind of want to do a podcast, but I'm like, I don't know that anybody would care enough to see it. And then I was like, one night I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it, whatever, screw it. And we're coming up, I think, on the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. I don't know when the first one was, but now that I got these dual monitors, I can check. So for those of you guys who saw my totally legit setup video, I hadn't even edited a video on this second monitor, this big square one. I literally just pulled it out of the garage and stuck it in here just for that video. So I didn't really know anything about it, and it doesn't work for my PS4. Like, it's only got a VGA cable, and it doesn't have HDMI. And I can get a VGA to HDMI converter, but it needs like an external power supply, and I can't find one of those anywhere. So I still have to play PS4 on my computer. I mean, like, or on my TV. I'm like, that's how ghetto my setup is. I can't even play PS4 on a tinier screen. So I'm looking for what was it called? The podcast episode 1. It was a long time ago, and I'm really glad that people have enjoyed it as much as they did, because I expected like the Smith Squad podcast, he doesn't do it anymore. It got considerably less views than most of his videos normally would get, and I didn't really care about that. Like, I obviously took that into account, like, okay, this is gonna totally destroy my analytics, because it's gonna make my watch time all out of whack, because some people will end up watching for an hour, some people will watch for 5 minutes, some people won't click on it at all, and some people will just watch my regular videos. So I had no idea that it would be such a big thing on my channel. Like, I talked about it in the Want Some Tea video. Like, hey, do you want... I was like, I love how much everybody's loving the podcast, because, like, I've had 4 or 5 different people ask me, yo, so when's like some straight Dave Chappelle, like, so when's the next podcast coming out there, bro? And this is it right here. I figured that there was no better way to end off this week of daily uploads than just with a podcast, with something that all of you guys love. Well, all of you loyal subscribers love. And I've had some of my real life friends and stuff tell me that they don't listen to the podcast, and obviously I'm not expecting everyone to. Podcasts aren't for everyone. I wouldn't expect people to want to sit down and watch every single one of these. But I've had people tell me that they just like to put it on when they're going to go to bed, and they'll just lay there and get in their feels in their bed and just think about stuff, because I'll just ramble on and on about life. And to be honest, I can't remember what I've done or what I've talked about in the majority of them. I remember a little bit more of the ones that I've done with friends, but like this first one, which was November 27th, 2016. Oh, that would be so perfect, man. This is going up on the 26th of 2016 or of 2017. So November 27th of 2016 was when the Beautiful Podcast Show episode 1 came out, and now I'm releasing episode 2 on November 26th, 2017. So I was one day off of the 1 year anniversary for episode 9. Not like that's exactly something to be awesome about, because it's like, hey, cool, bro, you did this thing that you were gonna say you were gonna do weekly, and you've done 9 in a year. Good job. But I figured that I didn't want to pump it out like just over and over and over and over like I did when it first came out, and people still loved it when it first came out, but I didn't I was still sticking to a weekly schedule on it like I did well, no, because I remember I did this first one, just sat there by myself and talked. I don't remember what it was about or anything. Then I did the second episode. I missed a week because I was feeling a little bit sick, and I kept like every 5 seconds in the video, and I kept coughing, and I wasn't about it. And so I then the next week I made the second one also by myself. And then I made the one with Twammers that went over really well. I did another one by myself. Now that fourth one was the first real video that I made in 2017, because I made on January 22nd Best of Moomade 2016 came out, which did remarkable 195 views, only 10 likes, but 195 views, which is pretty disgusting, to be honest. I'm really glad that video ended up doing so well too, because I remember I stayed up for 42 hours straight editing Best of Moomade 2016, so I should hope that it's really good. And then when I did 4, that was the first time that I had actually gotten to talk to my subscribers in 2017. And I remember in the very beginning, I'm like, wow, this is the first video that I've made. I haven't made a video since last year. And I was like making those stupid jokes. And I talked in that video about my goals and being more social for this year. And I wanted to take a minute, because that was 5 podcasts ago now. Episode 4, I figured that I would talk about that one a little bit, because in that I talked about just some of my goals that I had, and I had totally ripped the idea off of Twammers. I don't know where he stole the idea from. He tweeted it's 1/1/17. I have X number of subscribers. My goal is this number of subscribers by the end of the year. I'm going to keep it as my pin tweet until January 1st of 2018, and let's just see if I can grow. And for those you've got, oh god, sorry, I don't have jump cuts. I'm so used to being able to cut every time I stutter. I can't do that in the podcast, and it's hard to get used to. So for those of you guys who follow me on Twitter, you guys have seen my pinned tweet. It's got 20 likes, or it's pretty liked tweet, probably just because it's been sitting there for 11 months now. it says, I can pull it up, what it says. I've talked about this tweet in other videos before. Oh, I've got 10 new Twitter interactions. It's lit. My Twitter, or my pinned tweet just simply says 1117. I have 222 subscribers. My goal is 800 by the end of the year. This will be my pinned tweet until 1118. Let's see if I can grow. So my goal by the end of the year was 800. And in about September, I was making give me 300 videos. So I didn't, I think I talked about it in the 4th podcast, how that was one of my goals, was to was to get 800 subs. I think that goal is a little far-fetched. I think a lot of it, too, was Twammers hyping me up a little bit, because before I posted that tweet, I was like, so what do you think I could make as a goal? Because at the time, Twammers was my only real YouTube friend, and like I knew Corn Mafia, and that was pretty much where it ended. Like, I didn't have a million friends, and I was like, I feel like I could probably do 500, and he was like, nah, dog, if you really push yourself, you could probably do 800, you could probably do like 1,000, and I was like, I'll go with 800 sounds like a pretty good number, that's reachable. And then I just didn't upload for months at a time. I don't know what I was expecting. I just wouldn't upload for 5 days at a time, just stupid. And so I would I made a couple videos in January. I made two videos in February. 2 in the whole month of February. I get it, February's a shorter month, but still 28 days to make videos. And I made Infinite Rage Fair and Announcement. I don't remember either one of those videos at all. But then I made my totally legit opinions on Call of Duty World War II in March, and that's when my content started to really change. March 28th, I made my totally legit opinions on Call of Duty World War II. And at the time, I was dogging on it, saying, like, do you guys really think they're going to name the next Call of Duty World War II? I'm like, that's going to be so lame if they actually do that. And they freaking did it. They for real made Call of Duty World War II. And I'm sitting here no-lifing it each and every day, even though I was talking all kinds of smack about it in that video. So March 28th, and it has the solid color behind it with the picture, and then I have words over the picture, and then it's got the very soft it's called, I don't know if it's pronounced vignette or vignette. I think it's probably pronounced vignette. How it has, like, you'll notice that all of my thumbnails have like the black shadows that come in from the corners of the screens. That's intentional. I started doing that. I think I had it on the podcast thumbnails, but it was like so light you couldn't even tell. But the one, like, I did it on that World War II video. So in March is when I decided, like, I'm going to start making thumbnails like this. And then I made that, and then I made my first video, and I made a video for TSG that I made so bad. Back to back to back days. So 3 days in a row, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. My first video, it was very Leafy-esque, but 165 views. It did pretty well, and so bad. This friend of mine in real life, he's probably listening to the podcast right now. So bad is his favorite video of mine. I don't know why, of all videos, you would so bad's his favorite, but it was a funny video, I'll admit it. And then I uploaded those 3 videos back to back to back, and then I remember the day I uploaded So Bad, I got a text from Twammers, and I want to say that I was getting, or not a text, a Twitter message, and I got some messages and stuff from other people that said, like, bro, the videos that you've made since you've came back, because I hadn't uploaded for a month when I came back. I came back and I was like, and then I was getting these messages like, bro, don't slow down. Like, these videos are awesome. Like, they're brilliant. Like, you need to keep making more videos like this. And I went, all right, will do, man. So March 30th, I uploaded So Bad, and then the Rebirth montage trailer came out May 26th. I didn't upload anything for like 2 months, dog. And I don't know what was going through my head. Why did I think that was okay to do? I'm like, I knew in the back of my head, like, the whole time, it was like, oh my god, I need to upload videos. But at the time, I talked about it in, I don't remember which episode it was. it was like the 6th one or whatever the last solo one was. I don't know what number that was. I said I had talked about this girlfriend that I had had. That was like in the heart of our relationship, like right in the middle of everything. So like prom was in April. Like I had a very busy life at the time, but the fact that I still couldn't find time to make videos was just absolutely disgusting. So I definitely I didn't upload for and then I made the return on May 31st. So 5 days after I uploaded the montage trailer, I want to say that May 26th, I had been out at I get out of school like May 24th or something. So I uploaded a video, Rebirth montage trailer, a couple days after school ended. I literally was on summer break, and then I waited like 5 days for my next video. What? That's just lazy, dog. And I'm not, at least I can say, like, if nothing else, even if I can't keep the daily uploads going or whatever, at least I can say that I'm not lazy anymore. Like, every chance I get, I am making videos anymore, and it feels freaking amazing. Don't get me wrong, I still procrastinate. I'll go and take a dump and whatever when I should just sit down and record, you know? But and then so I made the return where I was like, how are you guys gonna be remembered? I remember that video got this one dude really in his feels, and he was like, man, my life is just completely worthless. I'm like, he's like, what am I gonna be remembered for? I don't do anything. And I was like, dog, it was just a comeback video. Don't take it so serious. I'm like, if you want to get in your feels, go listen to the podcast. That's what it's here for. So, and then after I made the return, I'm back finally. Another week with no videos. And then I did another 2 weeks with no videos. And then I uploaded 2 videos in that same week. And then I waited another 2 weeks. And then, I was uploading every now and then. Another 2 weeks went by. I'm like, I would just go 2 weeks at a time without uploading. And I've even done that very recently. If we go down to, let me go down to like the Jake Paul rant, July 26th. And then on August 4th. So then 8 days later, I did episode 6 of the Beautiful Podcast Show. And then, I made Getting Phased Up in Denver, I Am a Murderer, Why I Should Be in SOAR, Give Me 300 Subs. I was, like, actually making a legitimate effort to upload for once. And then, sorry, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I heard the toilet flush. That's why I stopped for a second. So, and then I uploaded August 14th. I was uploading 2 or 3 videos a week. And then August 27th, another 2 weeks went by, and then I uploaded my most popular video ever. So I guess it was well timed, the World War II beta rant. And then I did Childish Gambino's That Power monologue cover that nobody really cared about. 5 likes, but it did get 104 views. It really nobody cared about that at all. And then I was in Vengeance in the middle of all of this, which was a Tritage. The next one's gonna be 4 or 5 of us, I don't know. But it was a Tritage that I did with my boys Taco and Corcoran, and it's on Corcoran's channel. If I remember to, I'll link it in the description. I probably will forget, but I think Corcoran's in my featured channel, so just go over there and watch Vengeance. Or if you just search Moomade on YouTube, it's one of the top results. I don't know why, it just is. So then I made I published a couple more videos. I did Commentary Fails 5, clear freaking filler content. I was like, I need 2 videos for this week. Here's Commentary Fails 5. That counts, right? No, it was just stupid. And then I would wait another 11 days and upload another video, and I don't know. Then I would wait another week and a half, upload another 5 days would go by, and then 2 weeks. There were for real 2 weeks in between the evolution of Moomade and the Totally Legit COD montage. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. I don't understand how I could be that lazy. And then I did episode 8 of the podcast almost a month ago already. Wow. And then I came back this week, November 20th. It's currently the 26th. I came back and was like, so I'm going to upload daily this week to make it up to you guys for the lack of uploads. I have done that. I've stuck to it. And Face Adapt got a question in a Q&A years ago. Like, it was like a dual Q&A that he did with his ex-girlfriend about what was the hardest obstacle for you in building your YouTube channel. And he said the hardest thing for me was making that transition from uploading like 2 or 3 times a week to daily. That because daily is what really sprouted his channel. And he was like, it was really hard, but all he had to do was just make an actual video telling people, I am going to upload daily. And as soon as he uploaded daily, or as soon as he said he was going to upload daily, people were going to expect it out of him. So he had to meet expectations of it. It wasn't like before how people weren't expecting the daily uploads. So if he didn't follow through with them, it was whatever. So I know that, especially now 20 minutes into this podcast, that the people listening to this are not quite, are the more super ultra loyal subscribers. I'm going to keep the daily, at least consistent uploads for as long as I can now, because I'm having a ton of fun doing it. I love being able to check new comments every single day. Like, it's freaking amazing. Like, none of my videos this week have done exceptional. Like, when I just let them sit there for a little bit, like Totally Legit Multicod Montage, 72 views. Evolution of Moonmaid, 70 views. 71 views on the last podcast, or 71 views on I'm Done. PewDiePie in the title for views, 52 views. So I got about 50 views a video, and that's dropped off to about 40-ish this week. And it's cool though too, because when I'm uploading these daily, I can really get a feel for what my subscribers are more drawn towards. Cause Want Some Tea, 56 views, and then I made 3 like commentary gaming videos, 40, 49, and 40 views, and then I did Totally Legit Setup, 48 views, and then Confidence is Key. It's only been up for, I don't know, like 9 hours or something, so it's only chilling at 32 views. But it looks to me like people like or people were at least more inclined to click on the Totally Legit Setup and the Want Some Tea. So I don't know if that means that people are more drawn towards my kind of vlog-ish videos, because those are not going to be a regular thing. Like, I'll make them when I have the ideas for them, but my life isn't cool enough to do that. So, I don't know, I'm getting actual results now. Even though this is sad, ready? My channel still hasn't grown hardly at all from this. I think I've gained 1 subscriber from these daily uploads. To be fair, I could be clickbaiting a lot harder, but I saw something, I forget who it was that tweeted it. It was Pomage, maybe? Hutch? I don't know. It was one of those Call of Duty guys. I just said Pomage and Hutch in the same brainwave, Jesus Christ. I said that they tweeted out something in YouTube's new algorithm or rules or something, like a screenshot of YouTube's rules that said that videos that with all caps titles and videos with like 1 million exclamation points and question marks and stuff are less likely to be recommended to more people. So I was like, dog, if that's the case, then I need to stop with the all caps. And you can tell pretty quickly where I did that. Like, the cutoff was, I said, give me 300 subscribers, and then I did Childish Gambino, That Power, monologue cover. I don't know what to title this video. I did Commentary Fails 5, and then it did worse than every other video that I had made at about that time, because it was in all caps. I think there's actually something that has to do with that, which is why I don't put my video titles in all caps anymore. Like, straight, it's because they get recommended less. I don't know if that's true. I mean, like, I saw the actual YouTube channel thing, but I can't tell if other people are listening to it or not. I don't think that very many other people know that. But to be fair, I am seeing a lot less videos in all caps, at least in my recommended and stuff. So I don't know if I cracked the code, but clearly it's still not working for me. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I'm tagging the crap out of my videos. Like, I'm nailing all the tags. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong still, like why I can't grow my channel. So I'm just gonna keep with the consistent uploads. Like I'm gonna try and keep going daily, but with school, daily is gonna be so much more difficult. But here's the hope, is that I can do, I should be able to, I'll have this podcast go up, a video the day after this podcast goes up, and then it's just up to me. It's up to me and my own thoughts after that point. Because that's what I've always been worried about with daily uploading, is not having enough ideas and just running out and just kind of fizzling out because I don't have any ideas, and I don't want that to happen. But the video I made yesterday, at the time I'm recording this, even though I haven't gone to sleep, confidence is key. I wasn't expecting to talk about any of that at all in that video. When I made that video, the plan was for me to, like I said in the beginning, I want to talk about why nice guys finish last. And that was going to be the title of the video, Why Nice Guys Finish Last. I wasn't expecting to go on such a huge tangent with confidence is key, but then I just kind of went with it, and I was like, oh, all right then. And I mean, I said it at the end of that video, and I think I want to touch on it a little bit in this video. Why confidence is so hard to, not why confidence is so hard to get, but why confidence is so important. And that it only takes 1 second thing. That is completely ripped straight from the Smith Squad podcast, episode 58. And it's a really good episode. It's called Questioning Society and the Perfect Girl. And it's one of the best things that I've ever listened to, just period. Like, it gets me so woke. It's freaking amazing. And I wanted to talk a little bit in that about, I wanted to talk a little bit in this about some of the stuff he says in that. But yeah, that it only takes 1 second to make that jump, and it might be, you got a crush on this girl, you got to go ask her out. It takes 1 second to make that jump. And what he was referring to is that he's Canadian, so on Canada Day, he had to do this thing that he really didn't want to do. He's like, I'm not necessarily afraid of heights, but he was like, if I didn't have to be up so high, I wouldn't be. So he like, everybody was at this party, and they were jumping off like this big 30-foot rock into this lake, and he was like, somebody being like not a pansy, I was gonna jump off it too. So he did. He jumped 30 feet into the lake. I'm like, and he said, obviously you got to make sure, you're not going to land and break your legs on rocks, but it only takes 1 second to just make that jump. And then gravity and reality will take care of itself, and you'll land in the water and be okay. I'm like, those like relatable girl accounts on like common white girl accounts and stuff all over Twitter, where like their AVI on every single one is either freaking Dory or it's Cinderella. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I don't know if you guys could hear that. In that video, I saw one of those pages retweet, because I retweet everyone. I saw this girl retweet something from one of those pages that said like, it was like 10 pieces of advice from an old man or some random thing, and one piece of it stuck with me, and it said that whatever you may think is super important or bad in the moment will not be as critical as it seems. So like, say for instance, you're like, oh dog, I just got an F on this test. It's not, you failed that test, but the impact that it's going to have on the rest of your life is going to be a lot more minor than you may make it out to be in that given moment. So that doesn't mean you should stop caring when you fail a test. That's not good. But it's just people who will like lose their minds over it. Like for instance, we did these tests in AP US history. We took this test. I got a 67% on it. And to be honest, I thought I did worse. So I took the 67 with a grain of salt. I was like, you know what, that's not too bad. There was this girl that got like an 88, and she was almost in tears because it was only an 88. I was like, you're preaching to the choir, dog. That's like, it would be like complaining to Helen Keller that you can't see very well. I mean, it was just the most selfish thing that I had ever heard. That she was like about to cry because she failed, or because she only got an 88. I'm like, that's still a B plus. That's not bad, even a little bit. So I was really, really just ticked. But because she was taking it too serious in that given moment. She was like, oh no, that 88's going to bring down my grade 0.2%, and then, oh my god, now I'm not going to get into, I don't know, whatever college she wants to go to. Now I'm not going to get into Harvard, even though all Harvard and Ivy League schools in general are just completely worthless, and all they do is just brainwash people into becoming socialist communists, and they don't actually offer a better education than just going to a community college. But besides that, she was taking the 88 so super serious, whereas I got a 67, and I was like, that sucks. Move on to the next test, whatever. Next, I mean, like, you can't beat yourself up over your failures, because obviously failing sucks. It sucks to do something and do it wrong, or just, it sucks. It does. It feels bad. But it's not gonna kill you, unless, you, like, fail to, make like a, like you're like running from the cops, and there's like a 10-foot gap in between rooftops, and you realize that you're not Spider-Man while you're in midair, and you fall down and die. I'm like, that's a failure that will probably haunt you, because you'll be dead. But otherwise, that was such a weird example. I could have been if this was a regular video, I would have probably used 4 different analogies right there and just picked the best one, and would have put a black screen over it and everything. It would have been so much better than that. But do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna be whatever failure or whatever problem you have in the moment, it's not gonna be as critical in the future as you might think. So I've kind of developed that way of thinking that I've really talked about in what was the last one, so I can stop referring it to as the last solo one. I think it was the 6th one. Yeah, because the 6th one was the one where I really went on a pretty big rant about my ex-girlfriend in it, and I didn't say anything bad about her. I was very careful about that, to not say anything to badmouth her. But sorry, I popped my knuckles. I don't know if you could hear that. So I obviously told the story about school, and that video did really well. And in that video, I said that me and my ex-girlfriend had that first hour together. We didn't end on good terms. For those of you guys who don't know, who haven't seen the 6th episode, I'll fill you in real quick. Basically, me and her, we had been together for like 3.5 months, 3 months, I don't know. To be honest, I can't remember. We were together for, it wasn't a ridiculously long relationship, but it was really the most commitment that I've ever felt towards someone, So, we, I don't know, she had been pretty distant, like the couple days leading up to the breakup, and then her parents are divorced, so she had to go to Texas, and she went to Texas, and she had just been really short and just not texting back, not caring to talk to me at all. And so finally I confronted her. I was like, yo, dog, what's up? Why are you doing this? I was like, why are you just completely like ignoring me? She was like, yo, fam, let me call you. I'm sure that she said it exactly like that too. And then she did. She called me, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 11 at night or something, and I was laying in bed, happy as can be, just laying there. And she called me and said that she needed to just maybe put things on hold so she could just focus on herself. I'll never forget that. So she could focus on herself. And all I said the entire conversation was, okay. And I was kind of dumbfounded. Like, because obviously when you're in a relationship with someone you care about, you're never gonna expect it to end, so you don't really plan for what you would do if it were to end. So I didn't handle it as well as I should have. So we're gonna put that story on hold right there. Just put a little pin in it. We're gonna get back to it in just a second. So I had first hour with her. And then I forgot to mention this in the school video. I wish I hadn't. I had first hour with her, right? And then a couple weeks into the school year, my teacher in orchestra, because she plays the violin, so we even had orchestra together. And originally, there was no guarantee we were going to be in the same math class. That was just luck based. But the orchestra teacher had told her last school year that she was going to be in the highest orchestra. So she was going to be in a different orchestra than me this year. So when I went into the school year, I was pretty hyped because I wasn't going to have to see her in any of my classes. And I ended up having orchestra with her somehow, and I had math with her. So I got, now it's a good thing, but at the time I got stuck with her for 2 periods of the day. And when I post, or let me regather my thoughts real quick. So in orchestra, my teacher decided to do these 2 quartets where 2 violins, a viola, and a cello, all 4 of them would get together, and we would play a piece of music at the big concert, as well as the stuff we played with the rest of the orchestra. So she did that with 2 groups, so there was 8 of us in total. I got put into a quartet with this kid that plays cello that I don't really know. One of the girls that played violin, she was really cool. I'd never talked to her in my entire life, but she ended up being really cool. And my ex-girlfriend. We all got put into the same quartet. So I already sat next to her in math class at that point. Actually, she might have sat behind me or near me. I don't know. I already had math with her at that point. And then I got put into a quartet. So I was basically in a group project with her. And we would meet like once or twice a week for like 5 weeks. So I was like, all right, we're going to have to get used to each other. Like, it's going to have to happen. And I said in the 6th podcast, I was like, I said kind of my closing thoughts of the video were like, so thank you for breaking up with me, I guess, because I'm finally myself. And as I got to talk to her a little more, and we kind of had to work things out a little bit, and I had a couple friends help me break the ice there a little bit, and she added me back on Snapchat. I never deleted her on Snapchat, still to this day. She deleted me on Snapchat, but I never deleted her. When she added me on Snapchat, I was like, it's about to go down. I was kind of excited. I was like, all right, let's see what this is. Maybe I got some drama in my life for once, you feel? So I got to talking to her, and I would text her again, and I'd text her more and more and more, and then we got stuck next to each other in math. We'd already been stuck next to each other in math by the time I had started texting her some again. So we were getting to be a little bit better. We weren't quite as awkward with each other as we were before. And the more and more I got to text her, the more and more that I realized how awesome she is. And so at the closing thoughts, I was like, I don't want to get back together with you ever. Thank you. I said something like that. I don't know what I said exactly, but I remember that a little bit. And but like one of the the first couple weeks of school when we weren't really talking, there was nothing there except I would just see her. I said some stuff to my friends and stuff that I very clearly shouldn't have said, but some of the stuff that they had said to her face is far worse than anything I could have said about her. Although, to be fair, sometimes it's better just to say it to their face, but I don't like. But, like, for instance, so I said, so she could focus on herself. I was like, okay, that whole thing. We're going to unpin that real quick. my when we were gonna do our first quartet meeting in orchestra, I I went to I walked out onto the stage because that's where we were gonna practice for our little quartet. Put my stand down, put my music there, and then my friend told me later, I think like at lunch or later that day, next day, something. He had told me that before my ex-girlfriend had walked out there, that he said just straight up to her face, he was like, "Bro, this is about to be so awkward for you, and it's all your fault." I mean, it's funny now, and to be honest, it was really funny to me then. But I'm like, that's a terrible thing to say to someone, dude. I mean, like, that's just awful. So I never said, it wasn't like I was ever deliberately mean. You know, some of the stuff I shouldn't have said about her. It wasn't like I completely badmouthed her and cooked her. You know, I just, you know, it was whatever. So when we got to texting a little more or whatever, we got to talking a little more, and I realized that how much I missed her, because like just having that basic human interaction, I was lacking so much of that. And one of my friends said it to her, and then she told me later, because I still don't know if he knows that I know that he said this. Does that make sense? He said, I'm so glad that you're back. He said this to my ex-girlfriend. He said, I'm so glad that you're back in his life because he's finally himself again. And nobody ever told me that I wasn't myself. But now that I'm looking back on it, I really don't think I was, because I wasn't depressed. I wasn't like I was like slicing my wrists and listening to emo music, but I did listen to a lot of Whit Lowry, to be fair. Like every single night I would just lay in the dark and listen to Whit Lowry and get in my feels and then post about it on my Snapchat story trying to be relatable. But he said that I was finally myself again. And I was like, is that like a real thing? I was like, I still can't really believe it. I'm like, I was myself though. Like I found myself. I'm like, I became a lot edgier and memeier. And they're like, yeah, but you kind of just did that just to cope. I'm like, they did it just as a coping mechanism. And I was like, well, frick. So it was very clear that I did that like the night she dumped me. I posted I memed the crap out of my Twitter. Like my Twitter, it's a really old tweet. I've tweeted it multiple times. I'm giving myself a bad reputation. I actually tweeted and said, you know what, forget it, I'm gay now, the night that she dumped me. I mean, it's funny now, and it was really funny then. But so I became immediately, like at the snap of fingers, like at the flip of a switch, I just became like an edgy meme lord, I guess. And for the better, I think my videos got better out of it. I think that my I became funnier of a person, and I became more of myself, but I was still lacking that not love, because I have a good home life. You know, I have a brother that he won't say it back, but I know he loves me because, well, he's 3, he's a brat. And I have 2 parents that love me, and I mean, it's not like I was like, and I do have loyal friends. It wasn't like I was like all alone in this world, you know. It wasn't anything serious like that, but I was for real like I was to a certain degree just kind of by myself. Like I said it in the Giving Some Thanks video, how I am nothing without you guys. Like, you guys mean so much more to me than I can ever express with words, because I feed on your guys' criticism, and I need that human interaction in order to survive. Like, I have to have it, and I wasn't getting that. Like, I would go to football practice, you know, like 6 in the morning or whatever, 6 to 8, come home, and then I would just sit here in my room for like 8 hours a day, and then my parents would come home, and then I'd go out and I'd eat dinner or whatever. Then I'd come back in here, sit down, and the only games that I had to play were like I had like Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare. So I just had two of the worst Call of Duties to ever exist to play, and I just didn't know what to do. So now it's very clear that I am a lot happier. Not like I wasn't unhappy, but I am happier now, if that makes any sense. And in like October, I think it was in like September when me and her had finally started talking to each other again, and school for me started in August. So it had been about a month into school when we finally started talking to each other again. And then almost immediately, my friends could notice a change in me. And for those of you guys, or well, I totally lost what I was gonna say, but then we've been texting each other for like a week or two, maybe, I don't know, and I asked her, I was like, so do you want to like maybe go on a date or something again? And she said, please. And I was like, man, did I really just do that? I was like, I did just do that. I was like, especially after I made that whole podcast talking about how I didn't need her. And I was like, I was doing so good all by myself. And I'm just finding out now that I really wasn't. I just wasn't doing well at all by myself. I wasn't. And I mean, it's not like you could tell in my videos. You could probably tell on my Twitter a little bit. I don't know. Because you could always tell, like, I have some internet friends, some people in Corn and stuff that have me on Snapchat. And, even, I'm sure some of them can testify, they saw a lot of black screens with Whit Lowry lyrics on them. So, and they've probably noticed that there are less of those because I don't have to post stuff on my Snapchat story about me being in my feels anymore, because truth be told, I'm not. I'm like, so in October, and like I said in the Confidence is Key video, from becoming more memey and just caring less, I've become a lot more confident. And for better or for worse, I have become a lot more confident. And my ex-girlfriend has said that shows. And she said that confidence, girls think confidence is a huge turn on, which is why nice guys finish last. Just saying. I hit my pop filter. They say confidence is a huge, huge turn on, and they love guys who are confident. And I was like, man, I was the most, because the first time we were together, I was the most unconfident human being you will ever meet, because I didn't know what I was doing. I had never been in that kind of, I've never been in that kind of a situation in my entire life. I had never been in a real relationship, really. And, so for me to be in it, it was really different, and I had no idea what to do. I was afraid to do anything. I was always afraid of stuff to say. I was afraid to, like, even, like, down to, like, I was afraid to hold her hand at the movies. Like, I remember our first date, we saw that movie Split that came out earlier in 2017. Like, early, like, February. And I remember we were sitting there, and our shoulders touched, and I was like, I'm in, bro. I'm so in. And I was like, well, and now I look back on it, I'm like, I don't know why everything was so hard for me to do, because now I can do whatever I want easily. I mean, like, that sounds really molesty, but I didn't mean it like that. But I just am more confident of a human, just in general. Class presentations, light work now. They're not hard at all for me to just stand up and talk to people. I just do it. It's whatever. Especially, too, like, I dyed my hair. I mean, like, I hardly comb it. Like, I get out of the shower and kind of mess it up with my fingers and go to school. I'm like, I don't care about other people's opinions. I wear basketball shorts and the same pair of tennis shoes every day. It just doesn't matter anymore. I'm like, all the people in high school, in 2 years, I'm never going to see any of them again anyway. So it's not going to matter. So I don't care about any of them. I don't care about what any of them think about me. I just don't care anymore. And, but, so, the So anyway, back to this girl. Um, in October, and then in late October, so almost a month ago, I asked her. I was like, 'cause we went on like one date before. I forget what we did. If I really thought about it, I could. It's 2 in the morning. I'm a little tired. I can't remember. We went on a date, and then it was good times. And then we saw a movie, and then we just hung out in her car. I don't drive. She drives. To be fair, she's like a year and a half older than me. I know, right? Your boy pulled a girl that's older than him. Isn't that awesome? And she gets crap for it, like, cause she's 18, and they're like, "Oh my God, your boyfriend's 16." And I'm like, it's not like she's straight dating somebody that she's 2 years older than. It's like I'm a junior and she's a senior. It's like that's not uncommon to happen in high school. And like I was a sophomore and she was a junior, so on. It's not, yeah, it's not uncommon for that to happen in high school. So I guess real quick, for those of you guys who are in high school, especially those of you guys who are freshmen, don't be afraid to try and outkick your coverage. It's okay to slide into some of them sophomore DMs, all right? You can maybe even get a junior if they're really desperate. All right? So never give up on your dreams, kids. So and then I asked her, I was like, yo, so can I just call you my girlfriend again, dog? And I can't remember what she said. She said like, yes, please, or please. She said the word please in there. And I was like, man, she for real, like, actually missed me too. And I was like, and I never wanted to admit it, and I still don't want to admit it, but I guess I kind of have to. I missed her. I don't know why. She's really hot, to be honest. At least I think so. I don't know. No, I don't know if I'll probably never make a video with her. So you guys, all of my subscribers, you guys will probably never see her. But she's really hot, I think. And so that probably had a big role in it. That I was like, I just saw her and I was like, man, she's really hot, dog. I'm kind of sad we broke up. But I was just never gonna admit it, truth be told. I was never gonna admit that I missed her, because then she wins. That's how I took it, is like, if I missed her, it's because I was weak. I need to hurry up and move on. Took it as that, that kind of thing. And then later I found out that she missed me, maybe even more than I missed her. And it's just how we just cut each other off was awful. When we shouldn't have done that. To be fair, I never deleted her off of Snapchat. But at the same time, like, sometimes I would want to talk to her, but I was like, I'm not going to be that guy who texts his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, that is so ghetto. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't ever just text your ex-girlfriend and be like, hey, girl, I miss you. You can't tell her that. I mean, because that just shows that you're weak. Then she wins. She wins the breakup. You can't let her win. So, so now, unpin that little thing. Well, okay. All right, hang on. So, pin it back in. Put it back in. Okay. I'm going to get back to that point at some point. I made that, but this time you guys might notice that I'll be honest, I have been really lacking on texting her back and, talking to her on a regular basis. To be fair, she, went to Texas for this entire Thanksgiving week, so it wasn't like I could see her. So, but even if I could see her, I probably would have just hit the daily upload grind anyway. I'm like, to be honest, because last time we were together, she took more of a priority over me, or she took a greater priority than YouTube did. And I'm not saying that I'm neglecting her and I don't care about her, but I'm gonna treat them both a little more equal now. And I'm not gonna leave behind 300 people just so I can hang out with one person. As awesome as she is, as much as I like her, I'm not gonna give up on you guys like I did forever ago. It's just, I'm not gonna let that happen. So, I want to say that the first video of mine that she saw was a Weak Sauce Dance, actually. So yeah, we've kind of come full circle there, haven't we, with the Strong Sauce Dance that I made recently, which I saw her at Strong Sauce Dance. We'd been talking to each other in real life like a teeny tiny bit at homecoming, and like I taught her how to phase up while we were there, and my sense of humor just went down the drain, really, with when she dumped me. Like, I used to have like actual witty jokes, and I would just run around saying, hey, instead of saying it's lit fam, I run around and go, hey, it's illuminated family, and I like phase up, and I just I don't know why. I just became an Edgy Memelord, and that's just how it went. But so there's this friend of mine that also has a girlfriend, and me and him, and now I guess I've been calling her my ex-girlfriend the whole video because I didn't want to spoil the whole story. My now girlfriend and his girlfriend and a friend of mine that was fifth wheeling at his own house. We all went over to that friend's house, and we hung out and played games, just talked. It was a ton of fun. It was so much fun to just hang out all night and just talk and whatever. While we were there, I think it was before my friend's girlfriend had got there, or had gotten there, he told me and my girlfriend, I'm so glad you guys are back together. He's like, I'm so glad that you guys figured everything out, because he was a depressed little, I can't use that word in the podcast. He was a depressed little dweeb. I'll go with dweeb. He was just he was a depressed little nerd without you. I was like, thanks, Joey. It means a lot. So I don't know. So I'm glad that everything worked out, I guess. I really went back on my words that I said in episode 6, but like as soon as I saw her, like the first day, like I walked into the building and I just saw like all of these hallways, and like I saw like where we would sit for lunch, and like I used to see like all of these, I just saw all these things at the school that just hit me, like all these memories that I had completely forgotten about. They just all came like flooding back, and then I was like, man, I freaking really miss her. Like, I was the first couple days of school were really hard, and then I got over it because I'm a dude and I don't show pain. But I don't know. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to talk about a whole lot of this, but now we'll unpin that comment. So you remember when she was like, I just need to focus on myself and figure out what's going on with me, and I was like, okay. Well, I found out that just 2 or 3 nights ago, I was talking to her, and I found out that was completely she took that as a mutual breakup. When I was like, okay, like, because, well, to be fair, when somebody's dumping you, or when someone wants to break up, you can't just not let them break up. Be like, no, and just take them hostage. I'm like, you have to break up if one person wants to break up. I'm like, you could obviously fight for it. It's not like you have to just immediately, like, Henry, I'm breaking up with you. All right, understandable. Have a great day. And you just turn around and leave. Like, you can't do that. I mean, like, you have to fight for it a little bit, because when I was just saying, okay, all right, okay, she took that as mutual. Like, oh, so I guess he just wanted to break up too. And until a couple nights ago, I never thought of that's how that could have been taken. I just thought of it as like, okay, I was like, I don't really want to be okay with this, but I guess I kind of have to be, because like I said it in the 6th one, I've taken it this whole time as she dumped me, but she took it as a mutual breakup, so it's like somewhere in the middle, I guess. I don't freaking know. Point being is that now that we have experienced that strife and that not being together, I feel like this time around it has been a lot stronger, and it's been a lot more fun. And I've had a lot more fun with her already, just on the dates and stuff that we've had, and just any time I get to hang out with her, it's just a lot more fun than it was the first time that we were together. So I'm not telling you guys to go out and break up with your girlfriends so that you guys can build a stronger relationship in the future, but it definitely helped in this situation. And I guess too that people get back with their exes all the time, It's just everybody does it, and there's not like when I made the sixth podcast, I said, I don't know if I said it, but I certainly thought that there was something wrong with that. I'm like, once we're done, we're done. I don't want to get back together because if we break up, we're just gonna do it again. I'm like, but there's like actual like history and already connections made, so it is much easier to get back with an ex than it would be to find somebody new and have to rebuild all of the old connections that you had with the previous person. And I mean, some people do that. It's not like I'm telling you to get back with every single one of your exes. It's not like I'm telling you to never find somebody new, but it just don't be afraid to get back with your ex. Don't care about what other people will think about it. That's that confidence. Don't care about like other people will be like, oh, you for real got back with her. Just take it with a grain of salt. And I mean, for all I know, there's a girl listening to this, or some girls. This goes the same way with boyfriends. I'm just saying girlfriends and girls and just stuff just because I'm a dude. But it works both ways, you know? So I guess closing words, because I still had a whole nother thing that I wanted to talk about. And I might talk about it. I don't know. Maybe make it a longer one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out where it goes. But point being is that now we're back together, and everything is just a lot easier. It's a lot easier to communicate my feelings. It's a lot easier for her to communicate hers, so that we don't end up having, okay, conversations on the phone at 11 o'clock at night. So there's no more of that. And, I'm excited. So I'm excited for the future because I have so much more fun with her now. So I guess, now I still don't get to see her all the time, but to be honest, distance is good, because if you're on top of each other 24/7 and you're all up in each other's business, always texting each other, always calling each other, all like every waking second of the day, you're talking to each other, I'm like, you're gonna lose interest. You're gonna get bored of each other. Like, you have to keep a little distance so that there's still a little mystery involved, you know? Like, it has to stay fun. It has to. So, for those of you guys who are in high school, you guys might have jobs and whatever, and she does. I don't drive. I don't have a job. I don't know why she likes me. I don't understand. I'm the least productive person ever. I don't know. It's hard. Girlfriends are expensive, even though, like, it's not like I go out and buy her diamond earrings. It's not like I'm out here dropping thousands of dollars on her, but, like, $10 here, $10 there, movie tickets, maybe some food, a little thing here, a little thing there. It adds up really quick. And I'm starting to really feel it. And I need a job in a pretty serious way. So if I could maybe hit 10,000 subscribers overnight so that I didn't have to get a job and I could just real quick make some ad revenue, that'd be pretty awesome. But I doubt that's happening. So low-key, that might be part of the reason that I'm finally ready to take YouTube so serious, is because I'm ready to make something out of it. And it's not like I'm going to do it for the money, but it would be nice to maybe be rewarded a little bit for my efforts. Maybe even not be rewarded with money, but just be rewarded with growth. That would be awesome. But she has a job, and she works in fast food. I don't know why. I'd rather not make money than work in fast food. I don't want to. I'll refuse to do that. I would gladly work at Target or gladly work at Walmart or something before I'll work at freaking like McDonald's. That would suck so much, because at least at Walmart and Target, you're walking around, you're doing stuff. So for but for those of you guys who are in high school, you guys are probably saving up for college, and that's why she has a job, so she can start saving up for college. And because she actually has to worry about that because she's a senior. I'm only a junior, so technically I don't really have to worry about it as much, that's whatever. But I am really starting to need a job, just in general, just partly just to pay for her, but also if I can get a job, then maybe I can somehow start saving up money and then save up a lot of money. And once I save up a lot of money, I can get maybe some new equipment for YouTube, so then maybe a 720p render doesn't take an hour. be pretty cool, I feel like. But she's saving up for college, and because she has a job. And this is something that was talked about in the Smith Squad podcast, episode 58, Questioning Society and the Perfect Girl, that he says in that jobs are just these things that we feel like everybody's just entitled to. Jobs are just these things that are just given to us. And it's like, no, jobs are there. You are working a 9 to 5 because someone else made their dreams come true. Like, there's someone else out there that wanted to start Burger King, and they started Burger King, and now that they're a multimillionaire and they made their dreams come true. They became they made a successful fast food chain. For all that might have been what they had always dreamed of doing. I don't know why. That sounds kind of lame, but whatever makes the money, I guess. So you're working for someone else who already made their dreams come true instead of making your own dreams come true. And I've realized that. And I'm like, high school jobs, I get it a little bit. I'm like, high school jobs, really, high schoolers just take whatever they can get because they're not that qualified for anything. But, like, once you get to be, like, middle-aged, like I'd say probably if you're probably 23, 25 maybe, and you're still doing, like, a 9 to 5, you're going to be doing a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. Like, hang on, so, like, Whit Lowry talks about it. Whit Lowry does a whole bunch of, hating on college and stuff, talking about how, you don't need it. You don't need college in order to be successful, and that's 100% true. I totally buy into that. And episode 58, Smith Squad podcast, talks about that a lot also. How you only go to college. Okay, let me say it like this. If nobody went to college, would you? No. The answer is no. Nobody would go to college or university or whatever other countries call it. Nobody would go to college if nobody else was. Like, people are so obsessed with doing whatever the norm is, whatever society wants them to do, they're willing to do another 4 years of school just because that's just what society does. I'm like, why people just accept that as being normal is beyond me. And to be honest, I don't like school. Obviously, nobody likes school. I don't like school. But more than anything, more than me not liking school, it's not school that I have a problem with. It's having to do things that I don't want to do. I hate doing things for other people, but more importantly, I really hate doing things that I don't want to do, especially things I don't want to do for other people. So, like, I've made thumbnails for my boy Taco. I'm like, I'll gladly do that. He's my friend. I like making thumbnails. It's not like I love making thumbnails and it's like what I do all day, but I don't mind making thumbnails. But I have a major issue when it comes to having to do like a full-blown essay, research paper. I'm like, it's about stuff I don't want to do, man. I mean, like, I want to say that we had to do except there was one last year in Honors English 10. Oh god, that class was the bane of my existence. I hated every waking minute of that class. The teacher was awesome. She was a really, really nice lady. One of the nicest teachers I've ever had. But I hated every single assignment we ever had to do in that class. Awful. God awful. There was a thing we had to write a 500-word essay, which 500 words isn't that many. A 500-word essay about 500-word essay about our inspirations. So I was like, all right, so it's my chance to be creative and maybe do something I want for once. So of course I did it last minute because I do everything last minute for school. I real quick whipped up a 500-word essay about why FaZe Jev is one of my biggest inspirations. And I just went in depth with FaZe Jev's success story and how he came up from nothing and he that daily upload grind. And every time I watch his million sub special, it gets me so hyped to do anything because like it's just epic, and um I talked about that in a research paper, and that was so much fun. That was something I wanted to do, but for every one of those, I had to make a huge poster board on the tragedy of Julius Caesar. I'm like, I would rather just freaking et tu brute my own spleen. So I don't know, I hate doing things for other people, and that's all you do at school is things you don't like and things you do for other people. And I'm sure I'm gonna go to college because my dad especially tells me, well, nobody in my family, or in my dad's side of family especially, and my mom also, not my mom's family, but just my mom, and then my dad's whole family, none of them have ever finished college. A lot of them haven't even gone to college, and the ones who did never finished college. So my dad just wants nothing more than for me to be the first person in my family to have a college education, and he thinks that I'm way too smart to just not go to college. And this sounds really conceited. It's true to a certain degree. I am smart. I get good grades, whatever. But I hate that I don't want to. That's the thing. It's like it sounds lazy, but it's not lazy. It's I'm only doing it because that's what society wants me to do kind of attitude. I don't want to go to college because I don't think I have to. I'm like, you can be just as successful without going to college. And I'm sure that I'm still going to end up going to college because those people who say college doesn't even open up any opportunities for you, that's bullcrap. That it 100% can open up opportunities for you, but you get swamped in student debt that you'll finally pay off when you're 65 and your bones don't even work anymore. All just for a stupid just for an engineering degree. What are you doing? Oh, well, not much. I'm working in my local King Supers, and I got my own apartment at least. I'm like, that engineering degree is really coming in handy now. What are you engineering? Like a new way to stack the bread? I'm like, there's no way to. The college is not any more certain to give you opportunities than not going to college. I'm like, I can just as easily not go to college, and I think I can still be just as successful. Like, obviously, there's some jobs and stuff that you need a degree for, but I'm not trying to end up I don't want to be a neurosurgeon. I'm not trying to be any kind of a doctor. That's what you really have to go to college for, is for, like, the more medical, like, super technical careers. I don't really mess with any of that. None of that's really for me. But, I feel like everybody only goes to college because it's the norm, and I'm not telling you guys to not go to college. I'm like, obviously, it's what you've been told your whole life, but again, it's people only go to college because it's what they've been told their whole life, is after high school, you go to college, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do instead of go to college, but because I don't really want to serve in the military. I'm like, no disrespect to the military, I have no problem with it. My dad was in the Navy. I'm like, it's just fine, but I just don't really want to get shot at, and I don't want to have to be like overseas and like in a different hemisphere than my family. And if I were to serve in the military, I would do like 3 or 4 years and get out. Just say I did my time and then be done. I wouldn't want to spend my entire life in the military like I see a lot of people do. And the city I live in Colorado Springs. It's a very major like military town, so there's a lot of military that comes in and out of here, and it's really depressing sometimes because I'll see like this dad that looks like he's like in like his early, maybe mid-20s at Walmart in like his full uniform, and he's grocery shopping with his wife and his like 3-month-old baby. I'm like, that's heartbreaking, dog, because you're serving your country. That's fantastic. Thank you, bro. But you're not serving your country. Or you're serving your country. Sure, that's fantastic. But you're not getting to watch your child grow. I'm like, you're not getting to see your wife and kid on a regular basis. I can't imagine how that would just tear someone apart. And so I want whatever I do with my life, I just, more so than like I want to go to college, more so than I'm gonna do whatever, I want to be remembered. Like, that's all I want in this world. And I have some Will Lowry lyrics that I've pulled up, and I'll have to pull up more in a second, but like in Peace of Mind 3, he says said my potential is minimum wage, majority die before 25, 4 years later we're put in the grave. So he says majority die before 25 because it's like 25 you get that stupid 9 to 5, and then 40 years later at like 65, like 70 years old, you die. You lived a great life, bro. Definitely going to be remembered. And you just did it because that's what society wanted you to do. And then he says it later. He's like, this is the culture you sent me to save. Society's stuck in a cage. Like, society's stuck in a cage. It's like, it for real is like just it's just locked up. Like, it takes thinking outside the box to a whole new level. I'm like, you got to think outside the box just in life, because if you just live inside the box like everybody else does, you're not going to be remembered. Every famous person ever is famous because they took a step outside that box. I'm like, it's not that hard to use, or it's not that hard, I guess, to, it's hard to be remembered. It's really hard to be remembered, and I'm not saying, like, I'm gonna go out and be famous, but I just want to be somebody, I want to say that then in the second verse of Youth by Will Lowry, he says, you gain love, you gain love, you lose God, that is really hard to say at 2:30 in the morning. You gain love, you lose love, you go and outdo your peers. And this is what's important. And never being relevant, I think's my number one fear. So when I leave this earth, I hope you all remember me here. I want to be remembered. I'm like, and if college is the way for me to be remembered, so be it. I'll go to college, and I will, whatever it takes for me to get remembered is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go completely against whatever society wants, and that's part of the reason I do YouTube, is because I know that it is currently, as a regular old high schooler, it is my best it's my best chance, my best outlet to reaching out to the masses and trying to get my name out there and just be remembered. I just want to be somebody. What would be goals is to be Donald Glover for a living, because listen to this man, Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, he's a rapper, even though he does like psychedelic, like funk music, like was on Awaken My Love, but he's a musician that's really good. Him and Will Lowry are about all I listen to anymore. But he's also an actor. Oh, but he's not just an actor, he's also a writer. Oh, and he is also a director. So and he's done stand-up comedy acts. I'm like, he's just like the most interesting man in the world. Like, he does everything. Like, his album Because the Internet is like a full-blown, it has like a screenplay attached to it. I can't find it online. There's a screenplay attached to it that you read as you listen to the album. I'm like, it's like super in-depth. Like, there's that show on FX, Atlanta. He writes it, he directs it, and he stars in it. And while he does all of that, he's in other movies and stuff. He was in Spider-Man Homecoming, for instance. He was in other stuff. And then, with all of that time, he still is also Childish Gambino that is releasing music constantly. Not constantly, but he is still Childish Gambino that releases music. Even though he did announce that his next album is going to be his last album, and I was pretty butthurt when I heard that, but he's made some phenomenal music, a lot of crappy music too, to be fair. His mixtapes before Camp, like Camp was his debut album, but he made Sick Boy, and then he made Royalty. I don't remember if Royalty came out before or after Camp, but Royalty sucked really bad. Like, way too many features, and every feature was better than him. And then like Sick Boy, he did like the stupid voice the whole time on it. Like, they both sucked. But still, that he's just like the most interesting man in the world, because whatever he wants to do, he just does. I'm like, the life that he lives is a life that I want to live. Like, he is my idol. Like, I don't know if I'd go that far, but he is like the perfect person. He is a person that I would love to be. And I'm not saying that I'm going to grow up and I'm going to become an actor and a writer and a director and a rapper. That's not what I'm saying at all. But just that multi-talent that he has is just freaking amazing. And so I don't know if he went to college. I don't really know, but his I want to say that he did. I think he went to Brown, if I remember correctly, which is an Ivy League school. Donald Glover College? Question mark. So he he went to New York University. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, look, Wikipedia has him listed as an American actor, writer, producer, director, comedian, rapper, DJ, singer, and songwriter. Oh my god. That's freaking crazy, dude. I mean, he's just really cool, to be honest. Like, that's what I want, is I'm just looking to be remembered. And I think that everyone should just strive to just be remembered. Just strive to be somebody. Just be somebody that you never thought you could be. And because if you don't push yourself, then you're never going to make it. Like I said way earlier with how FaZe Adapt had to push himself and say, I'm going to upload daily, and then he finally did it. Just that little push to just be able to push yourself to do whatever you want, that's all you need to be remembered. I feel like you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you think you can do it. You don't need anybody else. I'm like, and then, however, in the Smith Squad podcast 58, he did talk in that about how having he said that he wants what he's looking for in a girl is just a good human being. He just wants a very supportive person by his side. And I feel like anymore I need that. Like, I need that confidence boost constantly, that like, hey dude, that was a good video, or hey dude, I love you. It sounded gay, but oh man, whatever. So so he I don't know. Anyway, point being is that it's not hard to be remembered, and it's to be fair, it is. But I think that making that step to get there is just, you have to push yourself to the limit. Because, for instance, it's like there's the scene in, I think, Remember the Titans, if I remember correctly, where they blindfold this guy and they put him on the goal line. And an American football field's 100 yards. I don't know how many that is in meters. Fight me. He has to run, he's got this dude chilling on his back, and he has to bear crawl, where he just like has to crawl on all fours all the way down this field while he's supporting the weight of this dude. So he and the coach puts the blindfold on him and is like, how far do you think you can make it, bro? He's like, I don't know, maybe to the 30-yard line. And he's like, I bet you can make it to the 50. So, the kid's like, all right, bet. So he does it, and he's like crawling with the kid on his back, and he keeps going and going and going and going, and finally the coach is like, you made it, bro, you made it, you can stop. And he stops, and he takes the blindfold off, and he's in the other end zone. He straight crawled 100 meters because he was blindfolded. And he was like, and you just did all of that while you were carrying 140 pounds, or while you were carrying like 130 pounds on your back. And the kid's like, hey coach, I weigh 150. So it's really cool, because he only did that because he didn't limit himself. Like, he kept crawling until he thought like and he says it in the video, or in the movie, he's like, am I at the 50 yet? Because he knows once he gets to the 50, he can stop. He doesn't push himself to that extra limit that the coach pushes him to when he carries the dude 100 yards. He just pushes him to that limit or because we just push ourselves to the limit of whatever is good enough. And I'm tired of living my life good enough. I'm ready to be remembered. And the people that I surround myself with right now, I don't know if they're going to be the ones who help me get remembered, but I would love to take some of them with me. But at the end of the day, I'm not, God, like I said, I'm not an independent person, but at the end of the day, I do everything for me. And obviously, I like my family, my whatever, means the world to me, but at the end of the day, I'm just out here trying to make my life as awesome as I can make it. So, I guess that I wasn't going to talk about that because with my other two rants, I had really gotten into, I had already hit an hour, but you know what, screw it. I'm already up this late. What's another 20 minutes of talking to you guys? So I hope you all did enjoy this. For those of you guys who keep asking, yo, where's the podcast at, bro? I need more podcast. There it is for you guys. I will have a guest on next week, and I have two other people that I know I'm going to have on it in the near future. And if you guys want more solo ones, let me know. I like doing the solo ones because it takes a lot less planning, and I don't have to like set up times. I can just sit down whenever I want in the middle of the night and do it and just like work. So thank you guys for all of your love and support you guys have showed me over this past week with these daily uploads. It honestly means the world to me. It's not easy to daily upload. It's been a grind. Every single one of these videos has been tough to make, but I have done it. If nothing else, I mean, like, I'm going to keep the daily and just consistent as long as I can. If nothing else, I can at least say that I have now daily uploaded for a week. Like, that's pretty amazing to me. So I hope you all did enjoy the video, though. And if you did, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you did dislike. Share this video with your friends. Do all that lovely stuff. Also, you can subscribe because I'm on the road to 400 subscribers. Wow, I need water. But otherwise, I have been Moomade. I love all your beautiful faces. Thank you guys so much. You guys are just amazing. It's 2:40 in the morning. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. I love all your beautiful faces, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.